What's up everybody, it's your favorite theory crafter Skizzors here, bringing you a brand new Nexus by the numbers presented by StormLegacy.com. Today we're going to be going over the latest hero added to Heroes of the Storm, Fenix, and this guide is going to be a little bit different than the ones in the past. We're going to be going over tips and tricks you may not know to improve your Fenix gameplay and to be able to counter the enemy team and be able to predict what the enemy Fenix might be doing as well. So let's get right into it. The first tip might be a little obvious, but that is Q starts where it stops, meaning wherever your mouse cursor is when you initially drop the Q, it'll be indicated by a smaller circle within the larger ring around Fenix. The laser will start there, travel around Fenix multiple times, and then end on that point. So if you can get an enemy in between the laser rotating back to the end point and the actual end point itself, you can get some extra damage in to maximize the amount of damage output that Q can provide you. This next tip is going to be general W management, switching between your auto attacks. So typically when a fight starts, I like to have phase bomb on to poke the enemies to kind of soften them up a little bit, and then I switch to repeater for single target during a team fight, and then switch back to phase if I need to use it to secure a kill that's running away and I might not be able to warp to reach it. If enemies, however, are all grouped up during a team fight, staying on phase the whole time will provide you lots of AoE damage in order to kind of whittle down every enemy versus just one. But the standard fight procedure that I like to go for as a general rule of thumb: phase bomb to poke, switch to repeater for single target, switch back to phase if I need to secure a kill that may be escaping and I can't reach it with my repeater. Something you may not have tried because Fenix is quite squishy is that Fenix is actually very good at taking Merc camps, either solo or in assistance with another hero. Between your phase bomb and your Q, you're able to burn down Mercs very quickly. In the clip, as you can see, it can take them out pretty quickly. Now this is a late game scenario clip, but you can do this at just about any level, though you may lose some health. Later in the game you will only really lose shields. Warp can be used to cancel abilities such as Butcher's Charge and also avoid all different types of damage during the warp time. That could be KT's Living Bomb, explosion damage going off, that could be KT's Pyroblast, other projectiles, Chromies, W or Q, etc, etc. If you go Warp Conduit at level 4, that gives you a pseudo Genji style reset, in that Genji will dash in and within 2 seconds he needs to get a kill. If that kill happens, then he can dash again using his E, and that could be used either to dive behind enemy gates, jump back out of enemy gates, or to just be able to chase down targets. So with Warp Conduit at level 4, you can warp reset pretty aggressively. You can dive backline, kill backline, warp back. You can dive behind a gate, kill an enemy behind the gate, and warp back. You have a lot of different options. Just keep in mind when you are going for warp resets that you must make sure that the play is very calculated, because you are very squishy and you don't have a protect. So in diving in, you need to make sure you can get that kill and get out. This next tip may not come as an incredibly helpful one, but it's something that's just kind of a fun fact, and that is your trait Shield Capacitator instantly recharges to full when you walk into the hall, so that can allow you to help defend your base a little easier if you're in a very unfavorable match. And the last tip for this video is going to be that Planet Cracker can be used as area denial. Now, Planet Cracker is your ultimate that does a ton of damage in this line over a couple seconds, and you want to try to keep enemies on that line if possible via ETC Mosh Pit or other types of CC that your team can provide. However, in this clip, I'm across the map and I'm dealing with the enemy team's golem, and I'm nowhere near my team, and I'm not at a good angle in order to just get tons of damage done. So what I ended up doing was using Planet Cracker specifically as a cutoff to not allow the enemy team to be able to walk back to their gate. And then they had to make a decision where they either walk through my laser and take a ton of damage, or they stay and fight my team. Now, a lot of those heroes could have walked through my laser and been okay, but in your general setting, when you're in the middle of a team fight and the enemy's in the middle of a team fight and they're thinking, oh, we're losing and we have to back out, when the giant laser beam drops, they're not thinking, oh, I can walk through this and survive. They're thinking, oh no, I can no longer walk through this point. So you can use it as an area denial tool if you are across the map pushing a lane for whatever reason. dealing with a golem or whatever has you on the opposite side of the map. Ending it off here, I'm just going to be going over some of the standard level 20 damage testing that I usually go through. And one I wanted to point out specifically was that your Q max damage untalented versus talented. Now the talented version of Q is the same talent build that is going to be in the description, but the Q max damage untalented is 953, while the Q max damage talented is 2880. Is a quite significant difference. So to make sure when choosing your talents you're trying to still go for as much damage as possible. Fenix is an assassin, so your job is to try to deal out as much damage as you can. Repeater Cannon does 286 damage with an attack speed of 1.85, while Phase Bomb does 338 damage with a 0.74 attack speed. So you can definitely get off a lot more repeater cannons than you can phase bombs, but we've already gone over those situations of when you might want to use phase bomb versus repeater cannon. Purification Salvo does 942 damage overall at level 20, and it's 189 damage per tick, versus Planet Cracker doing 3,683 damage overall at 230 damage per tick. The one thing to point out between the two ultimates is Purification Salvo is guaranteed damage as long as you hit them with the scan, while Planet Cracker is not guaranteed. However, I do typically go for Planet Cracker just because it has utility purposes that you can use it for, and if you do end up hitting somebody for a little bit of time, you end up doing quite a lot of damage. So that's why I like to go Planet Cracker in general over Purification Salvo. And that's going to do it for this tips and tricks guide for Fenix. I hope you guys all learned something new and can use it in your games when you play as Fenix. Anyways, let us know what you thought about the video in the comments, if you like this style of guide or not. And we'll be seeing you guys soon. Thank you all for watching the video. This has been your favorite theory crafter, Skizzors, and we'll see you next time.